Please keep in mind that all of this is my interpretation and may parallel or be similar to other beliefs, but still will be my interpretation about all of this. In heaven, being a fish, if you can imagine that. Hello folks, thank you for joining me today in my Continued Vision series. Are there animals in heaven, you think? I sure hope so. I'm pretty sure. Most of all of my envisioned dreams are biblical, common sense questions about things that we would like to ask God someday. This one is what happens when our precious pets, small, large, extremely large, die. Will they be in heaven? Here's one of my favorite scriptures from the Bible. It's in Isaiah. The wolf shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the young goat and the calf and the lion and the fattened calf together, and a little child shall lead them. The cow and the bear shall graze, their young shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox. The nursing child shall play over the hole of the cobra, not me, and the weaned child shall put his hand in the adder's den, the venomous viper's den, just put the hand right down in there. They shall not hurt or destroy in all my holy mountains, for the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord, as the water covers the sea. In this video, I'm combining two of my dreams, where I envisioned answers about will there be animals in heaven. The first dream came right after my book, my book of life dream, where I viewed Jesus at what I call the pool of life, surrounded by animals. The second dream came a few years later with me becoming a minnow in the Rocky Mountains, a fish. I recently revisited those thoughts with my loss of my dearest daily companion for over 10 years as Maggie May, a loving Springer Spaniel. This is one question I would like to ask God. If there is leather in heaven, where did it come from? Where did it come from? An animal hide? So then again, think about this. We may not need any clothes in heaven. We may not need clothes. I'll probably wake you up. We may not need leather or belts or animal products. If the lion eats straw like the ox, they won't eat the ox. I wonder if a Tyrannosaurus Rex will eat straw if we see one of them up there. If we wear clothes, perhaps there'll be synthetics, maybe wool type, plant-based cloth. There could be a chance that the animals will be able to talk to us somehow. Think about that. You got airplanes. Here's my first dream. This particular dream was a little different. It was if I was standing in front of a huge display in a museum with no glass. What I saw was unbelievably beautiful. A large garden of flowers, trees, beautiful fields of grass, all with various animals grazing everywhere. In front of me was a beautiful large pool of crystal clear water with precious stones of various sizes holding the water. The pool was continually moving from a waterfall that wasn't able to see all of it. It was kind of like off on my right side. And the water was just running out into this pool, streaming out into this large, huge field in a calming manner. Just off to the left sat Jesus, by the edge of the pool, about 25 feet from me. I turned a little to face him, and I received a large smile, and I knew that he was looking directly at me. He was once again radiant in a white robe with long, silky white hair. This is the second time I saw Jesus' entire body and his face in a dream. Sitting to his right side of his right was a lion, and he had his arms resting on the lion's back. There were several other types of animals, sheep, lambs, lions, types of monkeys, deer to his right, my left. On his left side, there was a large bear, smaller bears, larger animals that spread out behind him and way out in the fields. There were smaller animals laying and sitting in front of him, dogs, cats, birds, and one that really remembered was this raccoon just standing up looking at me in front of Jesus. The only sound I remember was the water gently flowing from the waterfall. Before the dream stopped, I remembered there was an incredible warm feeling in me, and it just flooded my body with peace, with absolute certainty that all of the two-of-the-kind Ark passengers, all of fowl, all of the land and sea animals and butterflies will be in heaven. As I stated earlier, the second dream came a few years later and was, becoming a minnow in the Rocky Mountains, a fish. This was one of the coolest dreams I really had. So if you were in heaven for eternity, that's a long time. In case we don't get bored, they may have tour guides up there, things to do. They might have recommended tours that we could check out different planets or galaxies. Perhaps we could pick up some souvenirs, maybe. We could get our picture taken in front of the Milky Way sign. For some reason, I wanted to know what it would feel like to be a fish. So here goes. I'm a minnow about 2 inches long, and I can see incredibly well. The water was crystal clear, and I swam and darted around real fast. I could jump out of the water a long ways. And all of a sudden, I see several other minnows around me. The same thing, and instantly we were all friends, and we were able to communicate with each other by telepathy, I guess, some way. And we knew that, we were in heaven, and we knew that there was no harm that would come to us, and we were receiving nourishment somehow through the water. Wow. So off we go on an adventure through a stream and beautiful scenery and mountains and every wonderful thing you can possibly think of as we're swimming and going down. And we were all jumping out of the water and lightning fast speed and worshiping God with smiles and thankfulness and growing and getting bigger as we swam, from the little streams into the larger streams. We start getting bigger and bigger, and then into a river and into the ocean, where we became whales, and we were all floating together in this deep water underneath and just seeing things. And then on top of the water, the most beautiful sea you can think of, there were hundreds of other whales that were all worshiping and thanking God for us being there. For some reason then, I wanted to see how an elk could run through the aspen trees with a very large set of antlers running through this tree. And all of a sudden, wham, I'm there running through the aspen trees. And then I woke up. Imagine fulfilling your amazing thoughts and doing things like this. Well, if you ever, you've got to make sure, number one, you've got to get to heaven first. So how do you do that? Well, first off, you seek out your tour guide. His name's Jesus. Believe in him. Give him your heart and follow him. And you just might become a tour guide. You never know. That's it, folks. Stay tuned for the final vision video. And it's to tell your story. I'll tell you how to tell your story, okay? Have a great day. See you next time.